Hello, hello! What's up, everybody? So, I wanted to create this Mailchimp tutorial because I totally wholeheartedly recommend Mailchimp if you're getting started with email marketing or an email newsletter. So, it's free up to 2,000 subscribers. Voice crack there. We'll forget about that. And it's really easier to use than a lot of other email marketing systems. So it's pretty user friendly. It has this nice design. I love these little icons, but that's not all of why I like it, obviously. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be sharing the different components of how you can get started, send your first campaign, start your email list where your subscribers are actually going to sign up to, and then create a form where they can sign up and join your list. So let's get started. I'll also be sharing some of the other neat features in Mailchimp. Okay, so first things first, you're going to want to create a list. Right up here we got list, and that just means the list where your subscribers are going to subscribe to. So it's just kind of like a list of your subscribers. So I created a brand new Mailchimp account because I want to show you exactly what things are going to look like from your end if you're just getting started. My account is all cluttered and has a ton of stuff on it now. So I want to show you from a clean slate. Okay, so thank you Mailchimp for this nice little guide. So I'm going to click Create List. Right now we're making our subscriber list where our subscribers are going to sign up to. So list name, you can call this anything you want. I think my main one is called the Nectar Collective Newsletter because my brand name is the Nectar Collective. We'll just call this one Test Newsletter. Default from email, of course, you can just put whatever you want in here. I signed up with this email address for this new account, so I'm just going to put that in there. I'll just put Melissa here. Sure, Melissa Griffin, the Nectar Collective. And then you just have to put a little reminder about how they signed up for your list. So you signed up on our website. Cool. And then right down here, now this is really important, contact information for your list. So I recently signed up for a P.O. box instead of using my personal address. So between you and me, before, I didn't know that you needed to include legally your address in the emails. So I didn't. But now I know that it's a legal requirement to include your address in the emails that you send to your list. So I would run out and get a P.O. box unless you have some sort of office that you work from, a co-working space, anywhere where you can use that actual address. That would be great. I don't recommend using your home address for obvious reasons. There are some creepers out there. You don't want people to find out your home address. But using a P.O. box is great because it still allows you to put the address in there, but you don't have to put your personal address. So I signed up for a P.O. box and it was actually pretty dirt cheap. For about 6 months, it was $40. I don't know the math on that. Maybe it was $7 or $8 a month, but that is pretty good. You can even sign up for, I believe, 1 month P.O. boxes if you're moving soon. You can sign up for a year. So there's lots of options to sign up for a P.O. box, but I definitely think it's a good investment in growing your email list and keeping your personal stuff private. And I'm going to show you in just a few minutes how to actually change your address. So if you did sign up already and you signed up with your home address, then I'll show you how to change it once you do get that awesome P.O. box. And then it's cool because people can send you letters to your business if you want. All right, so we are good. We're creating our first list. Save. Now, how freaking easy was that? You now have a list. Test newsletter. Beautiful. Okay, so get away. So here we're going to have manage subscribers is where all of your subscribers are going to be listed. So it's just going to basically say their name or their email address, whatever information you're collecting from them. You can also manually add subscribers. Now, I wouldn't do this unless you have their permission to add them to your list, but you might want to import subscribers. So if you have a list of subscribers from a different email marketing system, then you can import them with like a CSV file, which is basically just a spreadsheet file. So that's where you would import them right there. Over here, we don't really need to talk about any of that stuff. And then stats, you can click this. If you click overview, of course, we have no stats right now, so I can't really show you much. But here you'll be able to see some statistics like open rate for your newsletter, what percentage of people open it, what percentage of people click the links in your newsletter, etc. So you'll have some neat stats to take a look at there. Now, sign up forms, if we click this is where you'll be able to create some sign up forms for your site. So if we go to general forms, let's just click that. Hey, little guy. Hey, general forms. So this is the link that Mailchimp gives you. So you could actually use this link. I'm just going to copy it and show you in a new window. Boom. So this is my sign up form. So if somebody signed up right here, then they'll be subscribing to Test Newsletter. And you know what? I'm actually going to do that just to show you that we have someone on our list now. Okay, so goodbye. And I'll show you that in just a few minutes. So we're back here on Mailchimp, but in any case, this link is something that you could use on social media if you want to tell people about your awesome newsletter that you are going to be sending out. Then you could send this link. You could also share it on your blog if you want to share it in a blog post. But just keep in mind that this is going to take people to a different website. So it does open in a new window. But you can design it here. So Mailchimp is freaking awesome because it's so easy to customize. Like I don't really collect last names, so I'm just going to delete that. And Mailchimp is nice. They have this delete field to make sure you actually want to delete it. So now we just have email and first name. I would recommend doing that for your own as well. There's few cases I can think of where you would actually need somebody's last name. And the neat thing, and I'll show you this later too, in Mailchimp, you can actually, if you collect their first name, you can actually email them using their first name. So you don't actually have to type in everybody's first name. You can just put this, it's called the merge field. You can put that or merge tag into your email and it will automatically pull their first name that they signed up with. So you could be like, hey, Catherine, hey, Melissa, and it will feel more personal. All right, and now if you click here for design it, then you have some cool options to design the look of your opt-in page. So we can change the background color. What a beautiful pink. We can click body, which is in here, to change that color. Forms. Now I'm not making this look real beautiful right now, just FYI. So this button we could change. Let's make it a red. This is like Valentine's list. Oh yeah, beautiful. Love it. And really you can just click all of these different things and change the text, change the colors. You could also import a logo in here. So a nice thing right up here in Test Newsletter that doesn't look very convincing or beautiful. So we could click use image and then you can browse your computer or import an image from a URL. So that's a cool thing too. So you can really customize it to be on brand with your brand. All right. Now, another thing that I really, really want to share with you, I think a lot of people have questions about, is the thank you email or how to send a lead magnet. So a lead magnet is basically something that you're giving away for free to people who sign up for your email newsletter. So you've probably seen this a lot, like sign up for my newsletter and get my free PDF about growing your blog, or sign up for my newsletter and get this awesome checklist for how to style your dog. I don't know. Anything that's related to your niche or anything that you think your audience would love would make a great lead magnet. So a lead magnet doesn't have to be too extensive. It could just be a one-page PDF like a checklist, or it could be a few worksheets that are really going to help your audience go through your content or discover something about themselves, or it could be like a mini ebook or a chapter from an ebook that you're selling. The opportunities are pretty endless. You could even use a video or some sort of free course or a challenge. So really just be creative here. Think about what would really help your audience and then create a lead magnet in order to get more subscribers to your email list. So how do you send that lead magnet? Here's the fun part. So we can just click right here. I clicked this forms and response emails. So I'm clicking sign up forms. And then I'm going to go here to final welcome email. Final welcome email. So this is the email that they are going to get after they confirm their subscription, say, yes, I want to be part of your list. They're going to get a final email that says, hey, you're awesome. Thanks for subscribing. And in this email, so I can actually click the email and edit the content. So this is kind of bland, right? Your subscription to our list has been confirmed. But I'm going to actually change it and be like, hey, you're awesome. Here's, oh my gosh, you can't type, you guys. Here's a link to your free PDF about how to style your dog. And then you can just click or highlight your text, insert a link, and this link would link to your PDF. So all you have to do, and it doesn't have to be a PDF, of course, but for most lead magnets, oh my gosh, lead magnets, a PDF works really well. So you can just upload the PDF to your website and then get the link for that upload, that media file to your website, and then just copy that link right here. And then we'll click insert, but I don't have a link, so I'm just going to click cancel. And then when they get that final welcome email, it will say, it'll short message from you and then a link to download that freebie, your lead magnet. So you could click save and close. I just exited out. And then it also includes this information that I'm not too sure if you can change that part. And then a big unsubscribe button, because that's the first thing we want people to do when they subscribe to our list, right? Unsubscribe. No. Okay. You can also change this stuff up here. So I don't know if I'd want people to see that they are part of the test newsletter list. That sounds kind of strange. So you could actually change this and include some sort of welcome message like, you're in, let's party. All right. Yes. So that could be your new subscription or your new subject for your welcome email. All right. So this is, of course, how to send your lead magnet. So we've done a lot already, you guys. We have customized your sign up form. Boom. Beautiful. Not really. And then we've gone to final welcome email. And then we've added a link to your lead magnet so that that's automatically going to be delivered to people who subscribe. And then you also, of course, want to make sure that this button is clicked. Forgot to tell you guys that earlier. What a disaster that would have been. So send a final welcome email. So that's basically just saying, send this email with my lead magnet in it. So we definitely want that to be checked. All right. So there's some other things in here that you can customize. I honestly don't use many of these things, but you can customize them if you want to. Okay. So we've customized our sign-up forms. We've created a list. So we are rocking and rolling right now, you guys. I'm first going to show you how to change your address, and then I'm going to show you how to send out your first campaign. Boom. So first, to change your address, remember we want to use a P.O. box rather than just your home address, because we don't want people to see your address when you send them an email. So you come up here to your name, and then you go to profile. And then we come here to settings and contact information. All right. So contact information, scroll on down and you'll see your address right here. So for most people, this is probably going to be your home address. So if you sign up for a P.O. box, you can just click edit contact information and then just change your address to whatever the new address is. So that's pretty awesome. And definitely I, again, recommend signing up for a P.O. box or using a business address rather than your home address. Okay. So we're actually almost done. You guys are amazing for listening to this ramble. I'm going to show you now how to set up a campaign. So a campaign basically just means your emails that you're going to be sending to your list. So for a lot of people, that will be your newsletters. So that's just kind of the lingo that Mailchimp uses. So I clicked campaigns. Now we don't have any campaigns yet because this is a brand new account. So I'm going to click create campaign. Okay, now I always do regular campaign, you could do something kind of cool, which is A/B testing campaign. A/B testing just means that they'll basically send out different variations of your email. So here are the different things you can customize to test the best subject line, email content, from name, etc., to see which one is open the most. So it will test it out for you, send it to a few people, see which one is doing the best, and then you can send the most popular one to all the other people. So that's what A/B testing basically is. RSS driven campaign just means that it's set up to send your email list a notification whenever you publish a new post on your blog. And it will send that content to them. So if you publish a new post today, it's going to, and they're subscribed to this RSS campaign, then they will get an email whenever you post a new blog post. But I honestly don't ever use these three. I only use regular campaign, my bread and butter. So I'm going to click select right here. So regular campaign is just basically your regular old newsletter. Okay, so send to entire list. Great. And the reason, if you're like, what? Why is there 0 recipients? I thought she subscribed. The reason for that is because I have to confirm my subscription in my email. So I can do that later. But once I do that, then we'll have 1 recipient here. But I'm just going to show you how to do this anyways. Okay, so test newsletter. Now you can send it to an entire list. You can send it to a segment of your list, so a certain part of your list. You can send it to a group, which is also just another part of your list. And then paste, I don't know what this is. Just being real with you. Okay, so I'm going to send it to my entire list because I generally do that. If I wanted to divide people up, I usually just create different lists because I don't find groups or segments to be too intuitive. When you're at the point where you need to divide people up into groups or segments, I would recommend upgrading to a different service. So Mailchimp is great for if you're getting started with your email newsletter, but when you're trying to get a little more fancy and use things like this, then I would just recommend upgrading to a different service. Okay, so send to entire list. Next. Now, name your campaign. So this is just for, it says right here, even internal use only. So this is just kind of a way for you to identify it. So I usually just put the email subject line right here. So I just put the same thing here as I do right here. So I'll just put, hey, welcome to your first newsletter email. And I'll just copy and paste that here. Obviously, your subject line is really important. You want to use something that will entice people, grab people, and interest people, and really speak to them on some level where they want to actually open your email. Because I'm sure you, like me, get tons of emails in your inbox every day. So we want to make sure that your email stands out. So this is not too convincing, but we'll run with it today. I would probably use something a little bit more interesting if I was actually sending this out. So from name, so this is the name they're going to see in the from field, and this is the email address they're going to see in the email address field. Okay, so we go down here. Now you can actually link it to your Google Analytics. So you just kind of have to set that up, but it's cool because if you do that, it will give you this funky looking title, but you can actually look in your Google Analytics and find this and see how many people visited your website after visiting your newsletter. So say there's a link in your newsletter that links to your website, then that's a great way to see how many people actually clicked over from your newsletter to visit your website. Okay. Now there's these other things like auto tweet after sending, auto post to Facebook after sending. I don't really recommend these. You could do these if you're in the beginning stages of your newsletter. That might be a good idea to get people noticing you and interested in you. But once you've grown your newsletter a little bit, I wouldn't do these because you definitely want your newsletters to be for subscribers only. You don't want to get people to sign up for your newsletter and then tweet it out to all your followers, because then it's not exclusive anymore. So maybe the first or second time you send your newsletter, you can share it to your social media just to show people like, hey, look how awesome I am. Look at this freaking amazing newsletter I just sent out. you should be subscribed because I'm not going to be sharing this on Twitter anymore. So that's kind of one thing you can do. But in general, I don't recommend doing that. Okay, now we're going to click next. And now, oh my God, I made a mistake. Oh, enter a value less than 50 characters. Hey, you created that name, Mailchimp. All right, so I'm just going to delete some of that. Okay, next. Now the fun part. We are going to design what your newsletter is going to look like. And luckily, Mailchimp is so kind that they create some awesome templates where you really don't have to do any coding or anything crazy. It's really simple, drag and drop to create your email newsletter. So first, you just want to click and select a basic layout. There's a lot of layouts here, so kind of depends on what you want to share in your newsletter. If it's like image heavy, this one might be nice. Generally, I just click like this one, really simple, and then I spice it up with some other things like my own images. So I'm actually just going to click this one. So we're going to be basic today, but of course you have a lot of other options. Okay, so here we have the option to put a cool image, which I would recommend to be your logo or something that pertains to your brand. Here, this is going to show up, this little text right here that I'm kind of covering up. That will show up in somebody's inbox. So it'll kind of appear right next to the subject of your email. So you do want this to be some sort of enticing thing or a little bit descriptive about what's inside the email. You definitely don't want to leave it as use this area to offer a short preview of your email's content. Definitely don't do that. We're not noobs here because we are watching this tutorial and learning how to be awesome. So I'm actually going to change this just to show you this email contains awesomeness. Cool. All right. So you might want to be a little more descriptive, but hey. So we could put an image in here. And then down here is going to be the content of your email. So you could write like a little greeting, some sort of personal message here. And then Mailchimp, again, is awesome, has all this drag and drop stuff. So if you want, you could put a button like buy now or click here to sign up for my webinar. And one thing that I really like to do, I'm just kind of perfectionist in some ways. So I click style. Of course, you can style your button, so you can pick a different color. That looks okay. You can change the font and everything. But one thing, where is it? It's under settings. Okay. So I like for buttons to be the full width. That's just my personal preference. Okay, so full width button, and then of course you can link the button. I didn't show you guys that, but you can put a URL here. So obviously, if you're creating a button like purchase this product or sign up for this thing, then you'll want to put a URL there. You can also put things like an image. So maybe you want to just put a straight up photograph or something right there. That might be nice, or an image group, social follow. So that could just be your links to encourage people to actually follow you on social media. You can even put a video. I did not know that. I wonder if, I've never seen that. You guys are like, what? She doesn't know what that is. Okay, so you could also put, let's see, a divider. I like to put dividers in just to kind of break up all of the stuff that I put in my emails. So that's kind of an option for you too. But the options and all the stuff here is kind of endless. So it's really just dependent on what you need for your email. And then the cool thing is that you can click design up here. And it's really easy to actually design the way your email looks. So you can click page. Right now you can see it has a light gray background. Maybe I want the background to just be all white. So I'm actually just going to click this one. So now it's all white, nice and bright. Text color, so that's like the color of your font. You can change the font. Let's just be crazy and do Comic Sans. Don't use Comic Sans, you guys. And really just totally change the design of your email. And of course, there's all these different things that you can change as well. So it's really up to you what it looks like. I would definitely encourage you to use on-brand colors. The same colors that you're using on your blog or on your website or your social media. using the same logo so people can easily identify you, and then really just trying to stay on brand with the rest of your newsletter. Now, one thing I want to point out is right down here, Mailchimp automatically includes your mailing address. So that's that address that I've been telling you about, your P.O. box. So it's illegal to delete that. You need to keep it in there. Whoops. All right. You need to keep your mailing address in there for legal purposes. So this is where your address, you can't see it. It will show up in the actual email. This is called a merge tag. But that's why you want to sign up for a P.O. box so that when people do see your address, it's not your home address. You could also delete like the monkey rewards. I think that's what they're called. I don't usually keep those in there. Okay, and then one last cool thing I want to show you. We're going to come back here to this greeting section. So I'm going to actually change this, and I'm going to say, hey, and I want to put the recipient's name. So right here, we're going to come to merge tags, and this only works if you're actually collecting their first name. So merge tags, first name. Hey, F name, what the heck? So the cool thing is that this is going to be replaced with the person's name. So if their name, like mine, is Melissa, it will say, hey, Melissa. So you could use that anywhere in your email, and that'll really spice it up and make it feel more personal. All right, so I'm going to save this, and let's just pretend this is an awesome newsletter. We're ready to send it out. So now we're going to click next. Boom. So we are here. We are all set to send. I actually had to go through and add myself to the list because apparently you cannot send a newsletter if you have 0 recipients. So we're all ready now. We have our subject line. We have the list that we're going to be sending to and all this other good stuff. So now we could either click send, which is going to immediately send it to your list, or you can click schedule. So if you want to do these in advance, you can actually schedule it for a future date. So that's pretty cool too. Okay, so I'm not going to actually send this because we don't really need to send it. We don't have anyone to send it to. So I'm going to go back here to our main Mailchimp area, and I'm going to show you one last thing. So I'm going to show you automation right up here. Now, automation is a paid feature. So you're actually going to need to pay to use this feature. But once you feel comfortable with your newsletter, you might want to start adding some things that are automated, and it's worth it to pay for it, in my opinion. So things that you could use automated emails for are, for example, if you wanted to sell a course that is called a drip course. So what that is that you're dripping the content out. So you're not sending it all at once. You're basically just sending the email or the content in your course every day or every few days over the span of like 2, 3, 4 weeks. So drip email courses are a great way to get started if you want to launch an e-course. So you can create your content and then use automation in Mailchimp to basically set which days those emails should be sent out after somebody is added to a certain list. So let's say they are added to the e-course list, then on day 1, 3, 7, 10, they're going to get an email from your course. So you can set all that up with automation. Now, of course, you could do that for a free course too. So maybe you have a free course that somebody gets for subscribing to your list. So the same thing applies. They're just going to get emails on certain days after they subscribe to your list. So automation is a kind of more advanced feature, but it can definitely help your blog or your business if you're trying to make more sales or grow a more trusting audience, people who feel like, oh wow, she has a lot of expertise on a certain topic. So definitely automation can be a good feature in the future once you get a little handle on your newsletter and on the kind of message that you want to send. All right, so that's automation for you. And that's pretty much Mailchimp for you too. So we covered your lists, how to set up a new list, how to set up a subscriber form. And then we talked about campaigns, which are your newsletters or your emails that you're going to be sending out, how to design and send one of those. And I also showed you how to change your address so that you're not sending people your personal home address. We definitely don't want that. All right, now let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I hope that this tutorial was clear for you and easy to understand, and I hope I wasn't a quirky mess. I know it can be a little quirky sometimes, so thank you for hanging in there with me. All right, guys, have an awesome day, and good luck sending your campaigns on Mailchimp. See you later.